Hey guys, and welcome back to Z3 Cubing. Today I'm going to react to my first video. Okay, so we just reached 100,000 subscribers on this channel, which is just such an amazing number. So in celebration of that, last week I had a giveaway of 5 $20 gift cards to the Cubicle. The winners to that giveaway are down in the description down below if you want to see. So now today, as kind of like an entertainment video for the milestone, we're going to do something that I've wanted to do for quite a long time. We're going to go back, 4.5 years to the very beginning of my channel, and we're going to react together to my very first video, which was, many of you guys probably don't know this, actually a beginner's tutorial on how to solve the 3x3. So this being my first ever cubing video on this channel, I had actually previously made a few other videos on another channel, but this being my first cubing video, and especially my first cubing tutorial, you guys can probably guess how it went. It's probably super all over the place, probably doesn't make any sense to anybody who's trying to learn how to solve a cube, and it's probably totally pointless at being a tutorial. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pull up the video here. First we're just going to take a look at all the stuff down below the video. So the title is How to Solve a Rubik's Cube, with the added exclamation mark of course. It was published on January 27th, 2014, which was, I think, 3 days after creating this channel. It has 51 views, a few of those are probably me, so probably less than 50 people ever saw this video before I made it private. It has 0 comments and 1 like, so I guess, in a way, that's kind of my best ever like to dislike ratio because it has 0 dislikes. Okay, now moving back up to the video, you can see my nice little setup there with the unstickered 7x7 and empty spot for the 8x8. That's pretty much still the desk that I film all my videos on, so that hasn't really changed. But it looks like I didn't really bother to clear out all the junk in the back of the shot. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. Brace yourselves.
Hello, Lego Boy DC here. Today I'm going to make a tutorial on the Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
So this is my first video on my new channel. My old channel was just Lego Boy DC without the exclamation mark. But,
Okay, yeah, that's what I sounded like 4.5 years ago. Super high-pitched. Okay, let's keep going.
Today I'm going to make a tutorial solve Rubik's Cube.
Didn't I just say that?
And all the algorithms that you're going to see on it, I have this little cheat sheet that shows all of them.
Yeah, that's something I used to do
and
for
if you want to
all
get
my
a link
tutorials.
to that, just look in the description down there. And yeah, you'll get a link to a Google Doc, and you can just print that out. And
honestly, it's
really
more helpful if
you
you just
have this
like
with you
write
while
them
you're
down
solving it the
yourself
first
instead
couple
of
times.
printing them out from me.
Well, like for the first couple days. So first of all.
Oh, I remember this. Okay, so I actually like kind of just jumped into the tutorial, and then while I was editing it, I realized that I didn't say anything about notation, so I kind of just left people just kind of to assume what algorithms were. So yeah, I wound up like cutting to this black screen and doing this weird explanation of notation in post, which didn't really make sense, and I remember I just like could not figure out how to explain it correctly, but yeah, let's just see how I attempted to do it.
Okay, before you're going to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube, you're going to need to know some basic notation.
Yep.
Which is how you turn the cube in algorithms. So in an algorithm,
Okay.
it's
so
a long,
I cut back to this now.
but then if you see it says F and then it's a little
Apostrophe?
Yeah, like that. Then
I just said like that and put it on the screen.
So like
apostrophe?
It's like that.
Little dash?
Like
it's not that hard to explain what it's called.
And front like that, and just counterclockwise. Okay, and if it had a little 2 next to it, like that.
Little 2. Ooh.
That means
did like an exponent instead of just
twice.
the number 2.
Matter which direction,
I think that's what me,
because it
myself, and
goes
Pi used to do. I was copying him.
So like right 2 would be like that, left 2 would be like that, and yeah. So
okay, finally getting on to solving
and
the cube.
I will be back
2
in a
minutes
second.
into the video.
First thing that you are going to want to do is create a red cross.
Wait, red?
Well, any color cross on
any
any
color?
side.
Red?
But
wait,
you're going to have.
I never did red cross. What?
Well, for starting purposes, you're going to want to use white.
White. Okay, that's what I thought.
So
just
here
said
we
red
have
on
an edge
accident,
piece
I
already
guess.
in place. We're going to make a cross like that. And so, but we need to line it up right here. So just turn that.
Line it up right here.
And it's lined
that makes
up.
a lot of sense.
And then, if you're just with logic, you can just
use
grab
logic,
pieces.
and then it
Here's
works.
another one.
That's how you solve a cube,
white
of
edge
course.
piece, and then you move it
Just
up.
use logic.
There. And you may come across.
Oh no, the piece is in backwards.
Where you get it, but
what are
it's
you ever going to
backwards.
do?
So when that happens, then you're going to do this algorithm.
Oh, I had like a cut in the middle of a sentence, and then I made a note to clarify. The piece did change from blue to green. I had to do a cut. Wow, so subtle. Wait, we're doing an
Front
algorithm now
inverted,
to solve lacrosse? Are you kidding
up,
me? What is this
left
tutorial?
inverted.
Okay.
If you have it like
Oh.
this on
Oh, I didn't
the
actually
right
bother
side,
to use the
you turn
algorithm.
it that way,
I just showed it the intuitive
and
way.
then you turn
I actually don't do that
it
in
left.
my current tutorial.
And then downside like that, and then back up. And then
It's
it
not
should
actually
be
an
in place
algorithm, I
like
just kind of show how to do
that.
it.
And so you go to another corner. That's also, it's white,
Oh my gosh,
blue,
it takes me so long
and
to just
orange.
figure out what the
So you
colors
move it
are
like
and
that,
say them. Okay,
down,
move on to the next step
up,
because this is going to
back
get
up.
really boring after a little while.
So okay, so the next step is to put in these edge pieces.
These.
That, and that.
Just say middle
So we
layer.
have none in right now.
I hardly
So
even
you're going to
pointed
look
them.
on the top and find a piece, like an edge piece, that doesn't have yellow on it.
It takes me so
And
long
so
to think of
that
anything to
means
say.
if it doesn't have yellow on it, that means
So
it's going to fit in
frustrating.
one
Just
of
do
these.
more jump cuts, really.
And so here is the red and green piece. Goes in red and green.
Wow.
And then, so you're going to learn your first algorithm now.
First? I thought we
Or
did
your
one
second
before.
algorithm, actually.
Oh, second. Okay.
And then that piece should go into there. Unless you
Should.
did something wrong.
Unless you did something wrong. Yes.
And then we're going to look for another piece that doesn't have yellow on it. Okay, one more thing to note is if you either you got the white side
At
and
least
the
I
piece
am
was
being
like this,
thorough
flipped,
with all the
or
different
you accidentally
cases
did
that
the
you can
wrong
possibly
move
get.
and got it
Not
flipped.
leaving people just to guess.
Then you're just going to do the same thing and just change
Change
it
it
around.
around.
Well, put
Another
another
piece
piece
into
into there.
I could be definitely way more clear about what I'm actually doing. You put another piece into the slot,
And then you
that
can
allows you to
put that back
yeah.
in.
Okay. I did the algorithm wrong.
Oh.
Okay, that's pretty great.
Yeah. And then you'll have the first two
F2L,
layers
halfway
solved.
through the video.
Okay, so like I was saying, you have the first two layers done, and now you will either have a dot,
An L,
an L,
a line,
a line,
or a cross.
or a cross.
Okay, that's actually some pretty good editing
Okay,
right there.
so we'll start with
I
the
like
dot.
that.
So, as you can see on this cheat sheet,
Wait a minute, let's just pause and look at the sheet here. We have dot to L, L to line, and L to cross. And all of them have the exact same algorithm written 3 different times. You could have just like said dot to L to line to cross, all with the same algorithm. Same thing on the next step. It has the same algorithm written twice, I think.
from going to the dot in the center to the L, you just do this algorithm.
Okay.
Front,
Another algorithm.
right, up, right,
Right?
up.
Isn't that R
Front.
prime?
Well, it's right inverted, front inverted.
Okay.
Right inverted, up inverted, front. So,
Okay.
yeah, and then you'll get an L.
Can't say the algorithm
And by the
correctly.
way, we're not paying attention to these corners right now.
Should have said that
So
earlier.
then, as you see, get from the L to the line, you do the same move, and having it oriented like that, front, right,
The same as before.
front.
What if it's
Then
not
you
like they
have a line.
memorized the algorithm already? Put the
Then,
algorithm
as
on
you
the
can
screen.
see, to get from the line to the cross,
I just want to pause this for a second and say I haven't actually watched this video for many, many years, and I think in my head I'm kind of overestimating just how bad it is. Like, watching it, it is very bad, but I think a beginner, if they were watching this and they struggled through it a lot, they could probably actually learn how to solve a cube, for the most part, using this tutorial. It's not quite as terrible as I remember it being. Anyway.
so you're going to want to be looking for a position for the top piece that has two edge
top
pieces lined up,
piece.
and they'll either be that and that, or across from each other.
Edge pieces?
And you may already have all 4 of them solved.
That and that, or across
then
from
you
each
can
other.
just skip this step. Then you want to do this algorithm, right,
Like, the wording
Up.
is really slow and I mess
Right
up and make a lot of
inverted.
mistakes,
Up.
but in the end,
right,
I say the
Up
algorithms,
two.
I show the positions.
right
You
inverted.
could probably figure it out.
And then if you just turn that, then it should, all of these pieces should be solved. And if you come to a point, I couldn't figure out how to make it do this, but if you come to a point, so one correct edge piece is right here, one is right here,
I couldn't figure out how to make it do this. I'm talking about basically a T-perm where the 2 edges are switched. I could have just like taken the pieces out of the cube and switched them around and put them back afterwards. That's hilarious.
and these two are flip-flopped. then you just do the algorithm facing this way, and then you'll make it
Wait,
to the point where you have two.
That's not the right algorithm. That says FRU R prime U prime F prime. That's the one for the step before this one. I'm telling people to permute edges with an algorithm that orients edges. Okay, maybe this tutorial is a little worse than I thought it was.
Get to the point where you have two across from each other, like that. So if you have two across from each other, and this is a front view, by the way. So you have two across from each other.
I clarify that's the front view, and then it's actually a top view.
Yeah, to get it to like that, you do that move, and then to get it from 2 correct like that to all 4 correct is that. And if you can't see that very well, it's probably just because of this camera, so you may want to look at that document down in the description again.
Oh yeah, making people go to my document. That camera, actually, by the way, well, actually, I just realized it wouldn't be too hard to just go out and find it. This is the camera that I filmed that video on. It's made by JVC. It's just a really old camcorder, just like this. I filmed in 720p. That was the best quality I could do. And by default, it was 4:3 ratio, but I adjusted it on this video to be 16:9, being up to date and modern. All right, back to the video.
So now you will come to a point where you need to flip around these corners and switch them around too.
Flip around?
So first you're going to look for
right
a corner in the right spot. So this, it doesn't have to be oriented correctly, but it just has to have the right colors on it. This is yellow, green, and red, but this is the wrong spot for it. There's also a wrong spot for it. So these are all wrong.
Could have been a little more clear.
You're going to have to, if you have no correct ones.
Maybe showing an example of a correct one before you say that they're all wrong.
Any position, up, right, up inverted, left inverted, up, right inverted, up inverted, left inverted, or left.
Inverted.
And then you should have 1, or you may have to do that algorithm once again.
No, you never have to do that algorithm more than once if there's none in place.
Well, after you do that, then you're going to have this on that side. So on the right front, then you're going to do that algorithm again.
If I just re-edited this video to get rid of all the weird pauses, I can make it like 3 minutes shorter.
And then you will have, and then that will either solve it, have all of these in the correct positions, or you have to do it one more time. In case you don't know what I mean by being in the right
and now
position,
I explain it after I've...
so this is yellow, green, and orange. And up. And of course some of those ups were inverted. I just didn't say that. And so yeah, now you'll have all of them you should have all of them in the correct position.
You'll have them. Oh no, you should have them.
And so on my cheat sheet, I show it like this.
More corrections.
Yes.
Says times 1 or times 2, but it should say times 1, times 2, times 3, or times 4. Actually, it should take 1, 2, or 3.
And then
can't be 4.
Green is away, red is towards.
Confusing X and C notation.
And so it shows you all wrong or 1 wrong on that right there.
Oh, so now I have to go in and explicitly state that if one of the steps is already solved, then you don't have to do the step. Wow, what a concept, with a smiley face for good measure.
Okay, so now you'll either have all 4 of them mixed up, 3 of them mixed up like is in here, or just 2 of them. You can never have 1 corner switched.
You could have 0.
And so now you're going to do this algorithm. It's right inverted, down
R
inverted,
prime, D prime,
right,
R, D.
down. Yeah, I had to do it 4 times again. And then we're going to turn it to the next unsolved one.
Just hear my friend sighing in the background. I actually had a friend of mine in the room with me, which is something that I never, ever, ever do when I'm recording a video. But for some reason on my first video, I had my best friend kind of sitting next to me. You can hear him kind of making noises throughout the video.
And you'll be 1 turn away from solving your Rubik's Cube. Yeah, you should be excited. Yay, you solved your first Rubik's Cube. So I really recommend printing this out.
I don't know how to end it, so I just say, you should be excited.
It really helps the first couple times you do it.
It helps a lot more if you write them down, because it helps you memorize them.
And That's
Get
just
back on the
about it.
stand.
See you later. Bye.
See you later, bye. Okay, so that's the end of my very first ever video that I put on YouTube. That was too much to handle at once. I think I have to end this video here. But yeah, there you go. That was a pretty extensive look at pretty much the first ever cubing video that I ever made. By the way, the cube that I used to make that video was my very first ever 3x3. It's a Rubiks brand. It has CubeSmith tiles on it, the same tiles that were in that video. And it doesn't turn that bad. You can tell it turns just like it did in the video. But yeah, that was my reaction to my very first video 4.5 years later with 100,000 more subscribers. I'll see you guys next time.